Yeah, it sees us because it's a camera. All right, are you ready?
Ready?
All right, I'm ready too. Now, welcome back to our channel, Meet Takesta and Jones, and I am Ishé from livingishe Reviews, and this lovely woman is
Lisa, also known as the Alkali Yogi.
All right, so we don't have a mukbang today, but we do have a review, and we're about to review 90 Day Fiance Before the 90 Days. That's season 5, episode 14. It's called The Disappearing Act. Few people disappear. We don't know what's happening.
They just
Yeah, man. Well, all right. Let's just get into it. So it starts off with Gino and Jasmine. Jasmine so this is picking up from after the argument where Gino flipped his chair over. Like that's the most aggressive thing he's done the entire season.
I'm done with this. I can't win with this woman.
I'm out of here. I'm done. So done. I be hearing that phrase all the time. This whole season, I'm done. Everybody says I'm done.
Everybody's done, but they're not.
They're not. So she's talking about the argument, and she's still talking about catching him in a lie about a trip with an ex that he took like 20 years ago. So she's still mad at that. She is screwy. And she went through his emails. Like, what? Like, you got to do all that? All right. Gino feels like,
Let's
she
amp
is
up the
punishing.
Ishé a little bit. He's
Huh?
coming. He's a little bit low energy. Let's.
What are you talking about? I'm high energy. Oh, it's because I'm chilling.
You're like, this is you right now. So yeah, Gina and I've been hearing people are out, but they're not really.
Okay, that's because this episode was lackluster. We didn't get to the good part.
He is so not interested in this show anymore. And that's because the show is rubbish. It's not Ishé's fault. You all need to do better because half of these couples, I don't even believe they're couples.
Anyway.
All right,
Look, there's
wrap you
nothing
up.
to this. There's nothing to this couple. They're dumb. That's it. Gino just feels like, oh, she's punishing me. She keeps attacking me. You don't say.
Your eyelids even look heavy.
Hey, you trying to expose me? Virginia is legal. Recreation
like-
and medical is legal.
Okay.
Not that I had any, but
That's what I'm saying. I think you're still recovering from your Sunday.
Well,
He had a boys' afternoon.
Can we do the thing? Can we
I think
just do
he's
this?
still recovering.
Like
The people are going to see it. You might as well call it out. Okay, back on track. But give us some more.
Can we finish it?
I look like I was constipated.
All right.
Okay, sorry.
Jasmine is a tit for tat girl. She is like immature. Talk about him is depressing. Yeah, now she's crying. She got the crocodile tears, and then they make up, and she apologizes, and they say something about crazy exes, and she said, "You don't want me to be a no ex, your ex." I believe it. I would not want her as my ex or my now. They make up, and Gino does some reflecting. Okay, you take it away. Oh no, I'll take it away. Usman and Kimberly. Okay, Usman's friends G-check him about Kimberly. They like, look, man, get rid of her. She ain't bringing you no justice. Anyway.
Did they use the word justice?
No justice, no peace.
I was going to say.
So Kim, I don't know, this episode, I don't know. Kim doesn't want to see Usman or talk to him.
Yeah.
And then when he calls, when he sends a message, meet me, now she want to see him. She looking for some grand gesture. All right, now we go to Memphis and Hamza. Hamza's getting ready for this wedding while Memphis is at some hotel. And Memphis wants, she's talking about she want to be in this family because they so close. They, together intact. She never had that, so she's wanting that. But she want that prenup even more.
She want that prenup.
So she ready to push the wedding up until this thing gets signed, but she can't do it. Everybody already took off work. They already made all the costumes. They already came from all over the lands to where he's at. Man, you can't do it.
And it's a multi-day celebration, which is not uncommon.
It is. Okay, so now we go to Ben and Mahogany. Mahogany is trying to figure out a way to break up with Ben. Father basically says she's too young for this. All right, then we go to Gino. This episode, man, I can't do it. Gino and Jasmine again. They made up. Then they go to hot springs. They have fun.
All right.
Back to Ben and Mahogany. Ben is meeting Mahogany's parents. He hopes they could speak to her about them. Mahogany shows up alone with a letter from her dad. Really? The dad wrote a letter? Like, these people, why are they acting like they 12 years old now?
But
like,
wait, did you skip over
50.
Gino and Jasmine getting engaged?
No, we get into that.
Oh, okay. Not bad. Spoiler alert. Spoiler.
Oh, my God. You supposed, the people want to wait. Well, I don't know, this episode was dumb. She said that she's more upset that Ben flaked on her meeting with her parents. Not them. Like, he's thinking the parents are upset that he didn't make it to their meeting, that he was a no-show. But no, she says she was more upset. And he's so immature and girl-like. Like, he was like, I wanted you to miss me. And, like, I wanted to feel wanted. And I never heard a man say that to another woman. Like, what is up with these shows with these men? They all in their feminine energy. Like, he's 54 years old talking like he's in
17.
elementary school. No, elementary. I think 17-year-olds are more mature than him. Looks like she broke up with him. Well, she was trying to break up with him again. And he should have went home once he got to the airport and found out there was nobody there to meet him. Matter of fact, he shouldn't have came. He should have never came there. Oh, my God.
She didn't want him there. She did say, my dad told me not to come and meet you, so.
Yeah. All right, so now take it away, Gino and Jasmine.
Okay, so they're at the hot springs, which is very nurturing, healing, and recommended to everyone who has access to hot springs. Do it. The sulfur is immensely beneficial. It cleans out your lungs, cleans out your respiratory, your respiratory system. So really life-affirming, really wonderful. I love it. And he chooses this spot to propose to a woman who's been nothing but loving and kind and patient with him. Mm-hmm. And they've been getting on splendidly, so why not?
Why not?
Why not get engaged?
Take it to the next level.
Why not? I mean, it's gone perfectly thus far. No hiccups, no arguments.
And that means it's going to, good sign that it's going to be perfect.
Exactly. So he gets down on one knee. He asks her to marry him, and she says, "Of course." Shock is, as Ishé would say,
Shocker.
Who turns down a proposal? not Jasmine. Although once they cut to their interview, she's like, "So this ring, yeah, is it even a diamond?" And he's like,
he asked her, "Do you like it?" And she's like, "Oh." It took her a while, and she said, "I love it." And then she said,
"It screams Gino."
Yeah, I'm not an expert. She says, "Is this a diamond?"
And he says, "I'm not an expert." Gino, you know.
Not for $300, man.
Not even. It was just shy of
$200.
Exactly. So we know it's not a diamond. You know it's not a diamond. But all right, Jasmine figured it out too, which is why she called you out on it. But she was trying not to ruin the moment. So these two, I'm sure, will go and ride off into the sunset and the happily ever after.
They're weirdos. They are both weird.
No comment. Mike and Yemena. So Yemena's mom. Yemena's mom, she's trying to speak sense into her daughter. So she comes to the house, I guess, and is trying to find out how things are going with Mike and her daughter. And Yemena is pretty much, there are too many things that bother me. I'm just not really feeling it. Yada, yada, yada. And her mom is like, do you realize that you have 2 kids here and no support?
Yeah.
Do you realize that neither of their fathers are involved in their lives? Neither one of them is paying any sort of child support or is helping you to co-parent. Do you understand any of this? Do you understand that you're unemployed and you need to keep a roof over your head and
This
food
is
on the
a
table?
white American man who can
Right.
make your life change immensely.
Right. Even though he's repulsive to you, can you psych it up?
And she said, my daughter is not thinking like
A rational woman.
rational woman in her.
Because to Yemena's
She's
mom,
thinking
let's
like
be
a
real.
20-year-old.
Let's be real. To Yemena's mom, who's practical and a woman of a certain age, she sees this for what it is, which is, a good situation for her daughter to get into, given where she's at in her life. So needless to say, Yemena is a very young and strong-willed woman, and she doesn't seem to take on her mom's advice. She just can't make herself like him. She's grossed out. She's young, and when you're this young and you have this much life and future ahead of you, you absolutely think that there's going to be something better that comes along, and there may be. You never know. It's a risk either way. So Yemena is basically not convinced. We then cut back to Hamza and Memphis. So Memphis returns from her stay at said hotel, where the celebrations have officially begun.
That's how you do it. I don't know what they was doing.
They have a different dialect.
They
It
was.
looks like the lighting is changing. It's going like
Well,
gray, blue.
I don't know.
In any
They
case.
look like the.
But we're still black.
They look like the Wish version of Arabs.
But
All right.
I don't even know what that means. But yeah, so anyways. Do you want to fill me in? Do like
No.
Craig David and fill me in?
Nah, it's too much. It's too much to take. Let's go
All right.
with that. Let's
All
keep
right.
going.
So the women of the family are gathered together and whisk her away in a horse and buggy to a hammam, which is absolutely lovely. If you've not done it, do it. It's life-changing.
That's a bathhouse
It is a Turkish style.
or hot spring. Oh no, yeah, hot sauna.
Never, and also
Bath.
it's also cold water as well as a full body scrub. But don't you fear, sir. Your first hammam experience will be on me. I mean, my treat. I mean, I won't be performing it, but I will treat.
As long as it's haram. Not haram. I mean, I forget it.
Hey, baby? Just kidding. I'm just playing. And in the midst of all this, she finds some quiet time and some quiet space during these celebrations to ring up her mom and bring her mom up to speed to the information that she has just obtained, which is that basically when it's Friday and you're getting married on a Monday, it's too late to do a prenup. So these things require time. Shocking that you can't get a prenup on a Friday when you get married on the Monday. But anyways, we digress. And her mom is like, you cannot do it, Memphis. Think about your children. You cannot do it. You simply cannot do it. You'll have to postpone the wedding. And Memphis is like, Mom, I don't know if you realize this, but the wedding is already beginning.
She's in a garb already.
Yeah, we're already
What is
starting.
up with her?
We're already into day one of the festivities. Anyways, it goes back to Ben and
No, I had something to say about Ben.
Oh, I'm sorry, living Ishé.
No, she keeps bringing up this paperwork, and Hamza already said he despises the notion of divorce. So why is she going on and on about divorce? Because for him, he's not getting the fact that she is paranoid about losing everything, which us men all around America are paying and have lost without Without, we don't be harping on it like that. But then now she don't want it to happen to her.
Ooh, you sound like somebody who's speaking with experience.
Hey, it's what it is. We do it and we do it. But yeah, she keeps harping on that. I mean, she's talking about all my money and assets. Then she says my house. She just has a house, probably a car. I don't know. But yeah, the sister starts, Memphis has a sister translate to Hamza about how she feel about this prenup. The sister is smart.
But we're not there yet. Now you're fast forwarding.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're not there yet.
All right, we got to rewind that.
Sorry. So now we're actually going back to Ben and Mahogany. Remember these episodes? Oh, it's all good. Remember these segments are so short. So it really does stop with Memphis and her mom sort of just speaking, and then it cuts to Ben and Mahogany. And about Ben and Mahogany, I really want to say this to the TLC producers. Are you guys just wasting our times? Like, were they even a couple, or did you just throw this couple in as a filler because of the whole Caleb and Alina situation? And because Ella and her guy, Johnny, I don't see how this can be a relationship. Like, literally, from the fact that they didn't FaceTime ever in the 3 months that they corresponded, which is not even a long time to correspond, by the way, to him coming to the airport, her not showing up, to him going all the way to San Bartolo to meet her, and then her lying about her age, about the obvious short-term rental that she claimed was where she lived, to her parents following them to this short little excursion that they took just so they could spend some time together to get to know each other. The whole thing is not flowing for me. None of it makes sense. What say you?
It's fake as a $2 bill.
Right. So to the producers, like, are we supposed to buy this just because media has been feeding us a whole lot of BS over the last 20-something months? Are we supposed to believe everything? Come on. People are waking up, okay? And you're making yourself less and less credible. Not unlike CNN. I've digressed. So in any case, let's cut back to, unless you wanted to add to that.
Nope.
Okay.
I hate those segments with them in it.
Stop lying to us. We are tired of it. Seriously. All of you, stop lying to us.
The best one was when they went to the sand dunes. And after that, it's like back to...
I mean, they don't touch. They don't hold... There's nothing to even show that they had even built any kind of rapport, even online, before they met. That's why I'm just like... Anyways... Television is what we're watching. All right, so back to Gino and Jasmine, who are engaged. And all we can say to that is best of luck. You already know it's not a real diamond ring, but it's fine. If this is the man you love, what does it really matter at the end of the day? If this is the man you love. So, also, I do think, just me, it's odd that you would get engaged to somebody who you barely know, who you've not introduced to your children, and you don't even know what their chemistry would be like. Is that just me?
Hey.
She's got two whole kids.
He hasn't met yet.
Isn't that part of the decision making? Isn't that part of the decision making?
Yeah, but
when you have
gotta
children,
blend them first. I mean, yeah, that's helping you blend them. You gotta get them in a rapport and a relationship. Unless the children are gonna stay in Panama with the grandma.
But even still, those are still her kids, and you can't separate that, even if the kids don't come to the U.S. And I guess I'm trying to understand and understand how he would feel comfortable proposing and she would feel comfortable accepting.
Well, people do it, though. I've seen people leave their kids in their country. I mean, they bring them eventually, but these people don't think, period. So why would they think about that? They don't think about anything else logical or that makes sense.
Let's be honest.
Before they get together.
Gino, no offense, Gino, you're not exactly the most easily digestible person, not unlike Mike. And maybe the kids won't take to him, right? Kids have intuition. Hey, they can sense a creep.
Those ladies get the bag first and worry about everything else.
Okay.
They secure the ring and the marriage.
The fake ring. Anyways, doesn't matter. If you love him, it really doesn't matter. So I'm not even dodging that. I'm just saying, your kids have intuition. And if they can sense that he's a creep, just because you can look past it doesn't mean that they will. But best of luck to the both of you. Nothing personal. So here we are again with Hamza and Memphis. And now is when they go into the room with Hamza's sister. So take it away, Ishé.
Oh, no, I mean, the sister just spitting facts. Like, you so worried about this prenup, and you ain't worried about my brother's feelings because you making him feel bad. Like, I told you, like, he's feeling like you don't care. Like, you just talking about what you gonna lose. What about him? And they almost get into a little, like, back and forth, you know? Her sister's annoyed and fed up. I mean, I don't blame her. I mean, they all like in celebration mode, and she come pulling this. I don't know if I'm gonna get married yet. Well, you should have came there with the damn prenup already printed out, ready to sign. Like, you just messing with everybody's. You just messing. You talking about him not being prepared and responsible, and you just showing that you're not. So that's all. That's all I want to say.
To me, again, I'm just surprised that you would discuss getting married and quote unquote getting engaged over FaceTime, right? Or whatever app was used. But basically getting engaged over the phone, right? And there was never a conversation about how would you feel about signing a prenup? It would seem to me that that would come before you would definitively say you're going to this country, a foreign country nonetheless, to get married, right? Isn't that part of the conversation?
When you're talking about actually being married to each other, you're like, okay, what do you believe? What do you think about this prenup? And then he could have had time to research on his end. You could have had time to go to the dang on lawyer's office and get it done up. Yeah, I mean, they just don't. None of these people think like they don't have no plan, no thought out plan, no roadmap to where they going. No, just. You're just doing stuff on a whim. She was busy showing her boobies in the shower to him.
Sexy time?
Yeah, and thinking about getting some to even think about the real stuff that matters.
Right. Because for a lot of people, a prenup is a deal breaker, right? Meaning they either will not agree to marry you unless you sign it, or vice versa, right?
Yeah.
Or if you bring it to them, they will not marry you if you even bring it to them. They will be like, well, if you're already speaking about a prenup, then why are we even... So what I'm saying is it's a deal breaker for either side. It can be. So to me, it's just shocking that you would decide to get married, plan a trip to come and get married. As you said, Ishé, not having an actual prenup in hand before you even boarded your flight. But the conversation... that should have happened before you guys even took it to the point where you got your families involved and said, yeah, we're definitely getting married. You hadn't even gone through the necessary, preparations.
And believe it or not, some people think of prenups you shouldn't need one because they're thinking with their love brain. They're not thinking logically, so they're like, you guys signing a prenup? Like, why? Like, you sound like it's a problem.
Yeah.
You know, it's like if you never had anything to lose, I can see your way of thinking. If you don't have anything, then yeah, you think like that. Or if you never lost something, or if you never, got taken to the cleaners in your first marriage. I'm saying, like, for generally speaking.
Sure. Yeah.
So a lot of people are just like ignorant on the uses of prenup. It's not to predetermine something bad is going to happen.
Right.
Or it's not to say that you already thinking that way. It's for the good of both of your families, because maybe you got stuff tied up with your family members that could be lost,
Inheritances and things.
Yeah.
Right, that your spouse really rightfully shouldn't have a right to, especially if it ends up being a short-term relationship.
I mean, maybe you got kids, you want to have some protection against some stuff. But the non-thinking people is gonna be questioning this prenup thing. I mean, even if you don't have none, it's still a good idea because, I mean, the statistics about marriage. It is what it is. It's like more. What is it? 60%.
Right. Well, I don't think it's quite that high, but it's definitely over 51. Yeah. But again, it is a cultural difference too, right? And I will say that it is probably not as common to have a prenup outside of the West, right?
But now remember, we got corrected. I mean, there's something.
Oh, that's right.
Like a prenup
thank you to
Tunisia.
the YouTube. Thank you to our fellow supporter who actually clarified for us that Tunisian law actually does protect the wife, anyways, more so than the husband.
Yeah. Make sure the husband's gonna pay.
Right. Exactly. So actually, Memphis under Tunisian law would have been protected. So thank you to our viewer who actually shared that information. But it just really goes back to, I just don't understand how you go from considering getting engaged and married to not having these conversations, especially for Memphis. Hamza, okay, because he's still green. But she has been in multiple relationships, has been married before, has children. So her responsibility levels are much different and greater than Hamza's. As far as her assets, obviously I don't have any insight into her financials, but just based on the way that TLC edited that particular conversation with her and her attorney, it seems like she's just kind of starting up as a nurse practitioner, which definitely means that she's going to be earning well above six figures as a nurse practitioner. We get that is relevant sum of money, but it also kind of seemed like she doesn't yet have a house that she owns. It's something that she's planning to build. And granted, I'm not an attorney, but as far as I understand it, anything that happens after you get married becomes,
marital property.
Marital property, exactly. So if you didn't have this house built and you didn't own it beforehand, prenup or not, I do believe that he's entitled to some of it. The other thing is to ask for a promise of someone signing a postnup. I mean, again, it's a gamble.
In the middle of the wedding.
In the middle of the wedding, it's a gamble because he can say yes to you today, and then when you present him with the paperwork, he can still refuse to sign it. So the whole thing is really messy for her because she's the one that currently is earning over six figures, has been married before, and has kids. And therefore, her kids are her responsibility. Now she's bringing over somebody else who also is going to require some support until he can get himself up and running. Because let's be honest, even though he's physically able and willing, Hamza's English is very limited. So it's going to take him some time to get up and on his feet. And just to adjust to the differences of living in Tunisia versus America, all the differences there, culturally speaking, etc. So I don't know. I wish you guys both the best of luck. I think you could have made this a lot easier. And the onus is primarily on you, Memphis, because you're significantly older with a lot more experience.
Yeah. So. I mean, who knows, even if it would work, because she didn't do all the homework she was supposed to.
Right.
It might be null and void even if he did sign it. Who knows? I mean,
yeah.
She didn't do everything she was supposed to do to find out.
No, exactly. So anyways, best of luck to you guys. Back to Ben and Mahogany. So we see Ben is now packing up. It's his last day, last morning, him and Mahogany's last morning at whatever the town is that they went to, which I don't recall. We just know that there were sand dunes and it looked amazing. So can't wait to see that in Peru. Peru, we're coming one of these days. And he's getting ready to return back to San Bartolo. Now, he's not spoken to Mahogany since the prior day in which they ended things off terribly because Mahogany was just over it. I think you've already covered it. Ben didn't show up for breakfast. The parents were offended. They left a note with Mahogany. So yada, yada, yada. So they've not spoken. They've not texted. So he's assuming that Mahogany is still there, going to take him back to San Bartolo. But he has met with different information. He goes to knock on her door. Someone else is in her room. He goes to the parking lot, sees that her vehicle is gone, which leads him to go and speak to the gentleman at the front desk who informed him that the young lady checked out the night before. So now he's forced to get himself a cab for a small nominal fee of $250 US. So well done to you, Ben. Anything you want to add to that?
I don't feel bad for I don't feel bad.
I don't even
Everything
believe
that's
you
happened
guys
to
are
him is his
relationships,
own
though.
doing.
I don't even believe this is a relationship. So it's hard for me to really weigh in.
Yeah, I mean he's in his 50s. Like $200 taxi ride shouldn't be a big issue in a foreign country if he really needs to get back.
That's true. So now we get to go back to Usman and Kimberly, which is also a very unlikely relationship in real life. So again, I do believe that this is just a stunt that they're pulling on us. TLC, stop the lying. But he does an awful serenade of sorts to woo his woman back. He has his phone to his mouth and is doing a horrible playback version of his track. The audio is horrific. I don't know how any artist would stand behind that and call themselves a professional recording artist, but I've digressed.
That's his grand gesture she was looking for.
There was no performance value added. There was no charisma. I don't know what you're like in a concert setting, but you definitely were not delivering in this particular situation.
His voice wasn't behind that. That's why he had to come out with his cell phone.
Right, he got no support. He didn't have a posse with him. And Kimberly, because it takes almost nothing to impress her, was very impressed with this. For me, the most impressive part of this evening was the fact that at least he had dinner there. So, because the performance was rubbish.
She still got the chain though.
And okay, there was no conversation that we know of about the chain that particular evening, but I don't even know why he would want to get back together with a woman who showed herself to be, for lack of a better term, a Karen. Mm-hmm. So, but okay. Actually, he even goes on to say, I want you to meet my mom. And
take her to Nigeria.
So you're going to take another peer to your mom? Another woman that's another peer to her? This is not the first time you've done this to her. Stop putting your mother through this. I beg. Okay, I know African mothers are strong. Hallelujah, they're amazing. Stop putting your mother through this. She does not want to meet another peer. That's supposed to be your girlfriend.
Man. I don't know how he does it. You seen her without makeup? Man. Anyway.
Let's go to Mike and Yemena. So they go on a date, and Mike is feeling more optimistic because he's spoken to Yemena's mom. And basically she said, be patient with my daughter. She's never been in a real relationship. Because Yemena's mom is not a fool. And she sees what the situation is like. And she knows that Yemena could really benefit, as well as Yemena's children, from this transaction. He's trying to converse with his lady in the vehicle. And she seems uninterested. Although we can't see it in the shot, it kind of looks like she might be looking at her phone because she has her head down. She's not really engaging with Mike. So already for a date, she's not terribly engaged. But anyways, needless to say, they make it to the pool hall. They're playing some pool. Mike is having the time of his life. They finally sit down to share drinks. And he's like, so isn't it great? Babe, isn't it great when it's just me and you hanging out, having a good time? Isn't it?
No. I like it better with my kids.
Oh, so why am I here?
I don't know.
If you're not having fun with me, why am I even here?
Yeah, that's how it was.
That's pretty much how it was. So then he's like, so what's going on here? Because it feels like your feelings changed when I stopped saying yes to all of your whimsical expenses. And she's like, I'm offended. How dare you? Then she goes on to say, I don't want you. As of right now, we are no longer a couple. We are not girlfriend and boyfriend. You can go. We're done. If you want, we can remain friends. But this is over because there are things about you that I don't like, aka you repulse me. And I cannot go on with this lie anymore. I simply cannot do it. And we're getting too close to the wedding date, and I cannot go through with this.
And remember, he was saying,
I'm paraphrasing.
For some reason, she doesn't want to be around me. You think, Mike, the whole time you came back.
She's basically treated you like
when
dirt.
You first got there, basically, yeah.
There was no warm welcome.
The whole time, yeah.
There was no warm welcome. I mean, right from the beginning of this trip.
His friends told him to leave, and he not listening to nobody's advice, but he wants advice from everybody.
Right.
But he don't listen.
And the way she even flipped, Mike, the way she even flipped on you from like, no, you can't sleep with me, I don't want anything to do with you, to when your friend whatever her name was, and she did the translation, and she basically told you to get out of Dodge, and you're like, and then all of a sudden Yemena flipped the script, and she's like, no, stay, I'll be better, I won't treat you this bad, and then she went right back to being repulsed by you, so she just could not fake the funk anymore. Anyways, she goes on to say that she's too young for this. She never actually really wanted to get married to begin with because she is a young lady. I do agree with her. She's only 24. She wants to do what other 24-year-olds do. But the problem is, Yemena, you already have 2 children.
Yeah.
I would completely co-sign you hoeing out in these streets and not getting married until after 30 if you didn't already have 2 children.
I believe she's 34. That's another story.
So whilst I can empathize that your 20s are in fact that decade where you should be having fun, traveling, it should be about friends and, exploring different relationships and what have you, you signed up for a different experience when you chose to have children this young. So, and that's a blessing, by the way. I think your children are beautiful, and I know that you see them as a blessing. Your best case scenario at this point is focus on raising your kids. You'll be an empty nester in your early 40s. You'll still be popping hot enough to drop it. Knees, I'm sure, will still be working. You can twerk it like Meg the Stallion. You'll be fine in your early 40s, but just focus on that. Stop trying to find yourself a situation to make yourself a housewife when you clearly don't want to be that. So that would be my thing. Mike, of course, has a meltdown.
Yeah.
He has a meltdown. He's like, so you're telling me it's over? And she's like, yeah, as of now, it's over. We are nothing to each other. And what does he do? He becomes petty Mike.
He says, I'm done. Well, it was already done, Mike. And then he runs into oncoming traffic.
Wait. He was petty Mike. What did he ask for?
He said, I'm going to take all the stuff I gave you back to New York.
Give it all back to me.
She was like, I don't care. Take that crap.
So it was a transaction the whole time.
Yeah.
Straight transaction.
He got some. She got some.
That's all that was.
And they was talking about, oh, you ain't going to pay my rent no more. I don't need you. Okay. And then when he left, and she thought about it, like, she was like, oh, shoot. I got to go back to work on the webcam.
Not on the webcam.
Oh, no. Wait a minute. What the hell did I do?
She did get teary-eyed. And it's hard to know for certain whether her tears were because she visibly hurt Mike and he ran off like a Mitch, sorry to say it. Or if it was because she came to the realization that she would have to pay rent next month.
Her money tree was sprouted legs and ran off.
Not to call you something that you're not, Yemena. It's just hard to know because this whole thing looked like a transaction, to be honest with you. So
it was transactional.
Yeah, I mean, and the first trip you were really warm and inviting. The second trip you weren't. And you flipped it a couple of times.
This is easy. I could play this off. I could act. I could just, some women are very great actors. And they will act if
that's
they
true.
have to.
Yeah, that's true. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where this wishy-washy lie of a show episode ends, thankfully.
Horrible. This episode was, it was bad. Like, I could have skipped a week.
Yeah. Here's the thing,
I'm not even excited. I'm normally excited. I got a little hay fever. It's spring. But
first day of spring, actually.
First day of spring.
Happy spring, everyone.
All right, so yeah.
So I guess, what do you rate it, given
5.
How disappointed you were?
4.
Yeah. I'll give it a 5. Stop lying to us, all of you. Okay.
And that's out of 10. We ain't talking out of 5. We talking. If it's out of 5 stars, this is a half a star.
Yeah, mine is a 5 out of 10 also. So at this point, I'm really looking forward to the season wrapping up. I hope for something better with the 90-day fiance, actual 90-day fiance, not before the 90 days, which actually starts in less than a month. So
I'm ready for that. I'll watch Pillow Talk if I have to.
I know. And on that note, guys, thank you so much for tuning back. And all of your support, your comments, and the information that you share with us. It's really helpful, obviously, because we don't know everything about every country. And you are just as important to us as I hope we are to you. On that note, stay free. Well, get free first, and then stay free. Mr. Ishé.
Stay decent, folks. Bye.